Is it on? I don't really know where to start. How does KJ do this stuff? Yo, what is up guys? Johnny here. It's been a minute since the last video post. Anyways, I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to tell you about these little things. These right here are the key. I didn't realize that, but these are actually extremely important, and that's part of the reason why I'm here making this video for you today. So basically what these are these come with every single NVRS7 frame. They're at the bottom of the box. These are 15 millimeter adapters. Basically the NVRS7, the dropouts are produced to house a 15 millimeter rear axle. These allow you to run a traditional 3/8 bolt-on 10 millimeter axle. So what I have. Okay, so here we are at the back of the frame, and the first thing that I'm going to show you guys is how these adapters actually go into the frame. So it slides in like this against, so it technically goes on the inside of the frame, as you can see. Okay, so now that we know how they actually go into the frame, how do we set this up within our axle? Right here I have one of my bolts. This is to my rear hub. So this is the bolt, the cone washer, the chain tensioner. You will take one of these adapters and you will put it on like this in there. All of this stuff goes on the outside of the dropout. This is the only piece that goes on the inside of the frame. So this stuff goes on the outside. You've got your chain tensioner and your bolt, and then the adapter goes on the inside. You've got your chain tensioner, then you've got your adapter on the inside. Okay, so now for those of you wondering, do I even really need these adapters? Yes, absolutely. You do need these adapters 100% if you are running something other than a 15 millimeter through axle or 15 millimeter rear axle. Like I said, my hub is a traditional bolt-on. This is what most people's rear hubs will be. I basically put this rear wheel in here without the adapters, and what happens is you have a lot more vertical, you have a lot more play this way. So you could put the wheel in, and when you go to tighten it down, instead of the wheel sitting perfectly straight in the dropout, it'll sit slightly tilted or slightly cocked to one side. This causes a bunch of issues if you're trying to manual, if you're trying to jump, really if you're just trying to ride the bike in a straight line. The rear end of the bike is constantly wanting to turn because the wheel's like this. So the bike's trying to correct itself. So you absolutely have to make sure that you have these adapters on if you are running a traditional bolt-on rear axle. Okay, so the wheel is in the dropout, and of course, yes, it has a little bit of side to side because of the bolts, but if you look, I can actually take the wheel and turn it up and down. This is because the axle is too small for the axle size, for the dropout size. So with the axle being too small, it's what's allowing this up and down play. That's why we put the adapters in. So now let's take this wheel out, and as you can see, there are no adapters. So now I have my bolt. I'm going to take my adapter, make sure that the smaller side is facing towards the frame because it's going to go in like this. I'm going to put it on the bolt, and then I'm going to screw that bolt into the hub. And so it should look something like this: adapter, space, chain tensioner, washer, bolt. Then you're going to do the same thing for the other side. Again, take the adapter, small side faces towards the frame, same thing, screw it in. Now don't go all the way because you want to leave some room for you to get your chain tensioners in there. And then from here, what you're going to do is you have your chain tensioner and adapter goes on the inside. So I'm going to push both adapters up against the hub body and that gap between the chain tensioner. So this is your dropout adapter. This is your axle adapter. This is the chain tensioner, the cone washer, and the dropout goes right in between the two. So that's why you have to make sure that small side's in there. Now we're just going to push it in. Get it a little bit tight. And now you can see I can't move the wheel up and down anymore. I can move it side to side because the bolts are loose, but I can't move it up or down because now the axle is the proper size. Basically that adapter allows the 10 millimeter bolt to act like a 15 millimeter. And so that's pretty much all there is to it. I'm not going to put the whole bike together right now because I still have a couple things that I need to clean to get this bike prepped, but I figured I'd show you guys how to actually put the adapters in. Now that the adapters are in place and our axle is now the proper size, we don't have any more play. From here, you know, you do the normal, put your chain on, cranks on, chain ring, get it all put together, and it's a smooth build from there. But again, make sure that when you are opening up your new frame, you keep an eye out for those adapters. Even if you have a 15 mil, keep those adapters in your back pocket because you never know if you're going to need them. If you don't have those adapters, you will not be able to run a traditional sized rear axle. If you do try to run it, you know, you're going to have your wheel either slanted either way, and it's not going to work. Trust me, I tried it before and it did not work. So make sure you have those little adapters. Super small piece, but very important. If you don't have any adapters, you can head over to supercrossbmx.com where we sell spare adapters. And that's it, guys. That's all that I have for you today. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and also let us know what kind of videos you want to see in the future down in the comments below. Until next time, guys. See ya.